Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of ChurchMunky. I hope everybody is doing well and everybody had a fun and safe weekend. It was a pretty chill one for me. I've been working a lot and the sun has been beating down on my white ass. I'm not supposed to be this tan, man. I'm getting beat by the sun, working my ass off every day, so I had a pretty chill weekend. My girlfriend and I stayed home, played video games most of the weekend. I made some delicious meals, made some nachos. I always love doing that. I saw this video a while ago of this guy who just melted a bunch of cheese in a big cookie sheet and then poured it over the nachos, and I've done that ever since. Such a big-brained idea. I always thought that you had to, put cheese and chips in the microwave, but no, bro. Bake that shit on a cookie sheet and pour them over your chips. It's delicious. What else did we make? My girlfriend made some pesto pasta. That was very good. Technically, I guess a pesto Alfredo or creamy pesto. I never even knew there was a difference, but apparently there is. That was really good. And, it was a pretty good weekend overall. A lot of relaxing. We have been playing this game called Split Fiction, which is a really fun game. It's about these two girls who are authors. They both write books, but they are unpublished authors. They just write for fun. And they get this publishing deal, and it ends up, the company is bad, and they were extracting their thoughts, and it's actually a really fun, really interesting game. I thought it was going to be really boring at first, because I'm not much of, a science fiction or, a fantasy person, because it puts you, so these two girls get stuck together, and it's like a virtual reality almost, but it's their own thoughts and their own, books that they've written that they're living out. And one of the girls is a fantasy writer. All of her books are fairy tales and fantasy. And then the other girl is a sci-fi book writer. And it's I'm not really into fantasy or sci-fi. So going into it, I really thought it was going to be a boring game, but it was actually a lot of fun. They put a really good story together. And I thought it was going to be more you're walking through the stories of the books, but it's not like that at all. It's a puzzle game where you guys have to solve puzzles together, and it's actually a lot of fun. We've been blasting through it, dude. I think I bought it on Tuesday or Wednesday. It's Sunday today, and I think we're about to be done with the game. Pretty crazy. But, my girlfriend and I, we both like video games, so when there's one we both like, we play it a lot. We've both been into Fortnite recently. I get really bored of Fortnite really easily because it's the same thing over and over. I prefer games where there are levels to beat or a story, But Fortnite's been fun recently. They have this new update where they got sprites out there, and it's just this little guy you put on your back, and it gives you special abilities. That's pretty fun. I've been going sprite hunting, been playing Split Fiction, and it's a lot of fun. I've been playing that Cuphead game too. I'm on the very last level, finally. And it's harder than shit, so. Yeah, I've also been playing Grand Theft Auto, and I've been playing Chivalry 2, which, everyone knows Grand Theft Auto. Chivalry 2 is a much more niche video game, but it's a lot of fun. I've been playing with my homie Caesar, shout out, and it's a lot of fun. You are a knight. You get assigned a team. You're either one country or another country, and you're a knight, and you cut people's heads off, and you stab people, and it's a lot of fun. It's actually really hard. You have to, do combos, and when you slash your sword, you have to, look the way you're slashing to make, the tip. It's actually a really hard game. Pause. To make, the tip of the sword slash through the other guy. You can't just look right at him. You got to look. If you're slashing to the right, you got to look to the right, so you bring the sword with you. It's a really hard game, but it's a lot of fun. And I haven't played it for a long time. I've always kept it on my Xbox because I like it, but I've not played it for a long time. That has been a lot of fun. Me and my homie Caesar, we just run through there, be stabbing fools. A lot of the times we're on a shitty team that doesn't, like, do the objective, you know, and that always sucks. Like, everyone wants to get kills, yeah, but there's a main objective we have to do, man. There's always that guy. My girl and I were playing Call of Duty Zombies, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 for a while, but that kind of gets repetitive too. It's the same thing over and over again. So yeah, we've been playing Split Fiction, and that new heist for GTA actually comes out today. Not today when I'm filming this, but today when it comes out, this Tuesday. The last GTA 5 heist. Man, I feel like I've talked about GTA 6 like every episode. But I mean, I'm so hyped for it, dude. GTA is another one of those games I never take off my Xbox. I always know I'm going to be going back to it. Rainbow Six Siege, I'll delete and download. Call of Duty, I'll delete and download. But GTA, that shit stays there. And yeah, there's a new heist dropping today, this week, this Tuesday. And I'm excited. It's supposedly the last heist before GTA 6, man. I'm excited. I got some money saved up so I can hopefully buy the shit that you need. Because I've always complained about that. It's kind of crazy that, like, shit is so expensive in GTA. My friends and I make jokes saying it's like inflation hit GTA. GTA inflation. It feels like everything's so expensive, and so, like, I had to get the mansion. It was like $12.5 million. Oh, my God. That was a pain in the ass to grind out. And I remember telling my uncle, I was like, it's bullshit I have to grind so much. Why can't it be like $5 million instead of $12 million? And my uncle said, oh, you're complaining that the game you like makes you play it? And I was like, you're right. You're right. It wouldn't be as fun if everything was easier. But yeah, the final ride, or it has some name to it. The last update, the last mission should be coming out today. And I am very excited. Should be a lot of fun. I think I've done all the heists. My friend and I, Caesar, shout out Caesar again. We be gaming a lot. We just did the Kai Perico heist. That's like the millionth time I've done that heist. But it's pretty good payout and it's pretty easy. And yeah, I think I've done them all. I own a lot of businesses. I definitely don't own all of them. But yes, I do have the mansion, which you have to have the mansion to buy this new update. That's the thing I think is so stupid. Like, when I got an oppressor, I thought that was all you did was buy the oppressor. But no, GTA is like, oh, you can buy the oppressor, but then to upgrade it, you got to buy this. And I'm like, okay, how do I buy that? Well, if you want to buy that, you got to buy this. Oh, my God. Give me a fucking break. So, yeah, you can't just buy the new place, of course. You have to have the mansion, and then it's an addition to your mansion. And I have one friend who's lagging, Jose. He has not bought his mansion yet. You better catch up, bro. GTA 6 is coming. He doesn't even have the new console yet. He's going to be trying to run GTA 6 on that dinosaur. Oh, my gosh. People trying to run GTA 6 on the original Xbox Ones and PS4s. That shit would overheat and explode. But yeah, this section might be really boring, but it's honestly what I've been up to, you know. I told my girlfriend that I needed a weekend to relax. We do a lot. I feel like a lot of the times we're out doing something or out seeing some friend or some type of event. I told her I need to chill this weekend. So that's exactly what I did. And yeah, that Split Fiction game is a lot of fun. And yeah, it's all a lot of fun. You know, some people are haters. Some people in my life call me a nerd. Say they be hating, but I'm having fun. That's what matters, right, kids? What else? Oh, my girlfriend and I walked her dog today. She has this big dog, beautiful dog, good boy. When her dog and I first met, he didn't like me. He didn't know me. He was like very anxious around me. But now that fool's like my best friend. I'd be giving him treats. I'd be throwing the ball for him. He'd be coming up in the bed, licking my face in the morning to wake me up. And he's a really cool dog. But that being said, he made me really mad today. We threw the ball for him a little bit and went outside yesterday. You know, we don't ever not take him outside. But today we were like, you know, we've been lazy a lot this weekend, so let's take the dog for a walk. And I was like, I agree. Let's go. We went and got Dutch Bros. Got to get a little something for the walk, you know what I mean? A little drink or something. I try to get drinks and not food, because then that's more expensive and trying to eat home and stuff. But anyways, we get our Dutch Bros and we take the dog for a walk. It's a beautiful day out. It pretty hot. Northern California, middle of July. Pretty hot day. But still, it was nice. The dog was having fun. He was sniffing. We go down to the creek, and that boy loves the creek. He always be splashing in it and trying to drink murky water that he should not be drinking. And everything was fine. Everything was dandy. So we start heading back to the car, and I'm like, oh, what a nice walk. I love my girlfriend. I love this dog. My life is great. And my girlfriend and the dog are walking, and the dog is right in front of me. My girlfriend's to my right. And you know what this dog fucking does? I'm looking up, and I'm walking, looking around trees, and just looking everywhere. This dog, instead of pulling off a little bit, sniffing around to take a piss, he, in the middle of the trail, stops and starts pissing so fast. And I didn't notice he started pissing, so I kept walking. And I look down, I run into him, his leg is up, and he pissed on my leg, dude. Oh, my God. It was awful, bro. I don't know how. The timing was just right to where I was walking, and my foot went under his lifted leg. Bro. Dude. It was probably my fault, but no. Fuck that dog. Hey, how about don't be an asshole? How about don't piss on people? What the hell, man? My girlfriend's all laughing. I got piss on my leg, and I'm like, you jackass. I'm pointing at the dog. You fucking jackass. Piss on my leg, bro. And immediately after, I tell my girlfriend, this is why I'm a cat person. Dude, I've told her so many times, she thinks I'm crazy, but why don't dogs have litter boxes? I don't understand it. Like, I get it. They're bigger. They have to go outside. They can't have an actual box. But why not have, like, a... you know those kiddie pools? Be the size of that and have like sand in it, and train them to go outside and piss and shit in that, dude. Like, oh, this dog takes the stinkiest shits I've ever smelt in my life. This dog has intense guttural aromas. Like, it's bad. And my girlfriend makes fun of me. She's like, that's crazy. Dogs don't use litter boxes. Why not? Why not, though? Why cats? Why do cats? I guess cats, they go outside and they run or get attacked, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a device to look it up, and I don't know why cats have litter boxes. Also, like, why do cats just know what a litter box is? Like, my cat was born outside. She was a barn cat. When she lived with her mom, she was outside the whole time, probably pissing and shitting in dirt. How did she know to go to the litter box? I think I looked that up one time, and it said, like, because for hundreds of years, like, they were trained to do that, and it's just an instinct. How do you train an instinct into a breed? Like, I never had to show her that, like, this is where you poop. You know, dogs, when they're puppies, you get a puppy pad because they just be peeing everywhere until they learn to go outside. Cats don't learn to use the litter box. She's just always known. And I think we should do the same to dogs. My girlfriend thinks I'm crazy, but man, that dog takes crazy shit. They smell awful. I hate picking them up. Why can't we just have some, like, scented sand that we pour over it? Seriously. And yeah, that's how my weekend ended. I got pissed on. I've never been pissed on by a dog. I thought that was pretty crazy. I think I have had a dog piss on me, actually. I think my old neighbors, I was at their house, and they were like, oh yeah, he does that when he gets excited. And he peed on my fucking leg. Luckily, I was wearing sweatpants, so he peed on my sweatpants. But like, bruh, I had to go change. He does that when he gets excited? Tell him to not get excited. Fuck that dog. So I guess I have been peed on one other time. But no, there is this one time when I was a kid. Man, this was devastating. Top 10 most traumatic moments of my life, most definitely. I was in Oregon visiting some family, and it was a really nice time. I got to see my cousins, got to see my grandpa, and he had this really nice house. You know, I grew up living in an apartment, so it was nice to go to a big house with a backyard, and we went and walked the woods in Oregon and stuff, and it was a really nice time. But at one point, I'm running around the grass, and I'm playing with my dad. I forget if we were playing like fake football, if he was throwing a football for me, or if we were playing tag, or if I was just messing with him. I honestly can't remember, but I do remember I was running around that backyard zigzagging and shit. And I zigzagged around that yard, ran around for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I was probably like 8 or 9. And at one point, my dad pushes me, not like hard or not like to fuck me up. He just pushes me as a joke. You know, you fall down, you get back up. You're a kid. I get up and I push him. And then he pushed me again. And for some reason, I was like, oh. I was like, oh, my face feels wet. My face feels weird. Did I land in mud? And I stand up, and there's dog shit all over my face and all over my side. My dad pushed me into dog shit. Oh, my God. That was a crazy, crazy day. I remember taking a shower for so long, just scrubbing and scrubbing. One of the grossest days of my life. He felt really bad after. Obviously, he didn't mean to, but pretty hilarious. I can't lie. Who falls in dog shit? Who gets perfectly pushed into dog shit? Like, that's crazy. I will never forget that, bro. That is definitely one of the crazier moments. Other than that, though, good trip. Rated at 8 out of 10. Oh, man, I'm not good with that. You know, that's why I'm scared of having kids, because, like, I'm not good with, like, diapers and piss and shit. Ew, gross. When my cat got spayed, she had a bad reaction to the gabapentin, and she was, like, having diarrhea and getting it stuck in her fur. And I genuinely thought about getting rid of her. Like, obviously I didn't go through with her or, like, actually post her for sale or anything. But I had a thought where I was just like, why am I doing this? Like, I could just not be doing this. Why do I have this cat? But you can't do that with kids. And, yeah, man. It's really gross thinking about it. But that did happen. And if you're listening to this, Dad, I forgive you. I don't forgive you for not getting it on camera. We would have made America's funniest home videos for sure. AFV, right? America's Funniest Videos. Dude, remember that show? Holy shit, what a throwback. That show is a classic. I know at one point they, like, switched hosts, and it wasn't as good after that. The host kind of made the show. But, man, America's Funniest Videos, what a fucking throwback. I remember watching that with my family. That's like original ridiculousness, man. It's like YouTube before YouTube. You'd watch that, and, yeah, crazy. Crazy show, crazy throwback. I actually had a kid who was also named Michael in my elementary school, and he claimed that him and his dad were in an America's Funniest Videos. I never saw an episode with him in it, and I think he might have been bullshitting. But he said something about, like, him and his dad buried TNT until just the wicks were sticking out and then lit them. And it blew up a bunch of dirt and it made it on. And it's like, that'd be kind of crazy to be on there. Maybe it is, and I just never saw it. You know, I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, but bro's probably just a bullshitter for real. But yeah, other than getting shitted on and pissed on, what else has been going on? I don't know. I had a random thought today. You know, I went to the cemetery last week to see my great-grandmother's headstone. Just got put in. She was buried a couple months ago, but the headstone was, like, being made or something. And when I was leaving the cemetery, I just had this thought where it's like, how is the whole world not one big holy shit. How is the whole world genuinely not just one big cemetery? Like, I don't know. It's just hard to think where I'm standing right now, no one's ever been buried ever. Like, my cemetery in the town I live in has been the same size my whole life. And I just think, like, how many people die here every year? And my girlfriend brought up a good point. Not everyone's buried. Some people are cremated and kept. Some people die here and aren't from here and are shipped back home. But it's like, I don't know, man. I think there's no way in hell someone hasn't been buried, like, in every spot of land ever at this point. Like, for hundreds of years or thousands of years. I don't even know how long we've been burying people. But, man, at one point, I don't know. I was thinking about it because everyone always says, like, don't buy a house that's on an old Native American burial ground. And it's like, dude, all of America has to be one old Native American burial ground. Like, there's no way. There's no way that it's not. I just don't buy it. With how many people have come and go on this earth, it's kind of a dark thought, kind of a dark subject, but I don't know. I feel like it's a good question. I do remember reading something where it was like way back when they buried people 12 feet and then they started burying people 6 feet. So it's like you can kind of double people. But I feel like you can't do that. Like, you can't just bury someone on top of someone else. What do? Remove the headstone? And like, you can't just do that. There's no way. Man, the biggest cemetery I ever seen was in this place called Lovell, Nevada. It's a very small town. I stopped there for a night on the way to Idaho to visit some family. I didn't want to do the whole drive in one day. And I remember driving down the main road in that town. It's like for more than a mile, like probably 2 miles. It's just cemetery, huge cemetery. And I don't know why I'm talking about that, but how does every town not have a huge cemetery? Maybe there are multiple cemeteries in my town. I only know about the one. But in my head, it's just like, no way. I'm not scared of buying a house that's on old Native American burial grounds because everywhere is old Native American burial grounds. I mean, I'm sure the Native Americans had their own traditions where it's like, oh, we bury them in this spot of our reservation. It wasn't called a reservation at the time, obviously. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? I'm just winging it. But it's like, they obviously had their own traditions where they buried them and they did whatever to them. But it's like back before we had these big cement headstones, they were just pieces of wood, right? Like, they just put crosses or a piece of wood with their name on it. It's like that shit had to melted into the ground or like just gone away after 100 years. Like, yeah, I don't know. I very much doubt that there is anywhere on this earth, maybe Antarctica, actually. Maybe there are a few places where people haven't been buried, but I don't know, just a random thought, just a dark thought, you know. I do believe in ghosts, but I don't. I do, but I don't. I think that, like, there are definitely spirits that roam the earth, but I don't think they're, like, boo, scary ghosts. I think more like, you know, earth can be a form of purgatory. You know what I mean? Maybe you were a decent person, but you did some bad stuff, and God's like, hell's too much for you, but you can't make it into heaven yet. So you got to roam around your empty house for another 100 years, or like watch people move in and out of the house you lived in for another 100 years. That would make sense to me. But I don't really believe in like, boo, scary ghosts. Not really. Watch me get haunted by a demon tonight. Watch me get possessed and haunted tonight for saying that shit. Had it coming, man. But yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. And yeah, I really do believe that someone's had to have been buried everywhere. But people do different stuff. Something else I learned is that if you want to dump ashes, apparently, you have to get a license to do it, which is crazy. My aunt was talking about how my great uncles and stuff, like, went out on a boat, or they were in the middle of the woods or something, and they were like, we're going to have to dump his ashes quick. Don't tell anyone. We don't have the proper licensing. Proper licensing? What the fuck? What the fuck? Proper licensing? Land of the free my ass. I can't even have my ashes dumped somewhere without having to pay permits and fines and oh my God. Oh, sorry, your friend who died recently always wanted to be here? Do you have that $500 permit? Fuck off. Making money on you after you're dead. Like, that's so fucking crazy. And it's probably not the same anywhere. I'm sure in, like, small towns or other states it doesn't matter. But fucking California, bro. How can we get any money? Hey, that permit for dumping the ashes is going to be $500. And, by the way, he owed $200 in parking fees, so it's $700. Like, holy shit moly, bro. That shit's crazy. I always told my friend that when I die, I would like my ashes to be diluted in water and then squirted out of a squirt gun at people at a festival. I go to this festival every year in Sacramento, this heavy metal festival, and I just think it'd be so dope if he went all 4 days. And every day he used a quarter of my ashes, diluted it, and just sprayed people with it. Is it a health hazard? Yeah, of course. Is it like a risk to people's safety? Yeah, of course. You're at a fucking metal festival, dude. I mean, is that not metal as fuck? Imagine you're walking around a metal festival, you're like, oh my God, that's Slipknot. Yeah, destroy everything. That's not a Slipknot song, but whatever. Imagine you're like, oh, I see Slipknot, and then you get sprayed, and you're like, are those ashes? Is that a person? Yeah. Fucking Slipknot's playing people equal shit, and you just got squirted with some dead guy's ashes. That's metal as fuck, bro. And you can't tell me any different. And I asked the right boy to do it. Shout out Caesar again, third mention in the podcast, dude. I know he'll do it. He don't mind going to jail. If he gets caught, he gets locked up. Locked up, won't let me out. He'll have that bail money. He'll have it saved up. I know him. He's got stocks and shit. He'll pull it out of the stock market. Fucking, yeah, I got rich friends in high places. Stocks, am I right? But no, seriously. Obviously, you can't do that. Maybe I would save like half of myself to do that. But the other half, I think it'd be really cool to get buried like not in a coffin, but they make these like eco-friendly wraps, and they'll wrap up your body, bury you 6 feet, and then plant a tree sprout or a tree, whatever it's called, the start of a tree, a baby tree. And then when your body decomposes, the roots go through the wrap and take your nutrients and grow into a tree. How awesome is that? Then I get to live on in 2 ways, by giving people diseases being sprayed on them at a metal festival, and I live on through a tree. How awesome would that be? I don't know why I started talking about death and all this stuff. I don't want to die anytime soon, but yeah, that's metal as fuck, that squirt gun idea. I forget where I learned that. I definitely saw it somewhere when I was a teenager. I think it was maybe Malcolm in the Middle. It was some show for sure. I think it was Malcolm at the Middle. Malcolm at the Middle. I think it was Malcolm in the Middle. There was this episode where they went to Burning Man. That was a really good episode. And I'm pretty sure someone was going around with a squirt gun, squirting ashes at people. Maybe I made that up in my dark, twisted brain, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like someone's already been buried everywhere because bodies decompose, man. And so do coffins, right? After enough time, there would. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't study the earth. But I don't know. I just very doubt that my house wasn't built on some graveyard from 300 years ago. Like, how am I supposed to know? I really don't think we can. I don't think anyone can. I know there's an answer to it. I looked it up one time, and it told me why I was wrong. Google's AI was like, well, actually, cemeteries are very kept track of, and blah, 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 blah. The fuck does an AI know? AI doesn't know shit. But yeah, I don't know. Just thinking about that, man, like how many people there are in China, how many people there are in America, how many people die every day. I truly believe the earth is just one big cemetery. But who knows? I could be wrong. Pretty dark way to end the podcast, but it's what I wrote down on my notes over here. I don't know why I've been thinking about that. But that's where we're ending it. Oh, I do have an album for the week, though. This week's album of the week is By The Way by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Really good album. It's a classic album. Lots of people probably know it, but you should listen to it front to back, man. Red Hot Chili Peppers, I've always said, they're the most overrated, underrated band of all time. Same with Sublime. Everyone knows their top 3 songs. But they have albums and albums that are so good. By the way, front to back, one of my favorites. One of the best. And yeah, go listen to that right now. Don't listen to any other podcast, because if you listen to any other podcast, you're basically cheating on me. Okay? So go put on By The Way by Red Hot Chili Peppers. And yeah, that was ChurchMunky. Hasta luego. Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of ChurchMunky. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you. If you want any exclusive content or our social medias, all that will be at churchmonkey.com. Thanks for listening.